Hi, Rose. Nag. Oh, my Rose. Omwana taweza nachi? No, aweza. Just aweza miaka 15. She looks like she's around 13, 14. But she's diabetic and she has become blind. She was on medication up there. Wali wagulu. Kati ndowooza avuddeyo nga ayagala kugenda afuka. Tayogedde. Nze asanze wansi naye nga nva mu byange. Nantumira mpulira omuntu atambula awo nnyamba. Konze nkuyambe ntya. Njagala afuka siraba. Konze nga lwaki tolaba. Amaaso gaazibye. But she's starting to see after that drip. She's starting to see in one of the eyes. Katonda wange. So family, welcome back to DOREEN'S African Experiences. It is very sad. It is very sad. And if diabetes is excess in your body, your body parts can even start falling off. Literally. It's like as if you have a cancer that is infecting different body parts of yours. And
because the body parts are very fragile.
Yeah.
Like they cannot keep together.
Imagine that.
Like fingers drop off.
Hold on.
Hey. Oh no, you come and join an email.
What do you know?
I posted in the group that they have opened for everyone an email. Contact Bella.
Who is Bella?
The number then you take out.
Is that a number?
You just open your WhatsApp. What for Musoma movie? Mazina na very important things to movie Soma.
Really? We are going to contact Bella.
I think by next week everyone should have an official.
Okay. So we are going to discuss a couple of things as they are happening in Uganda. So I'm going to be very detailed. And this is the actual truth of what is happening. You understand how in the Western world you pay taxes for multiple things, where you file for taxes for everything you do. Even if you bought a sweet, you have to file, you include it in your taxes. So that system is coming to Uganda, and you have to understand your countries have accountability for these taxes. At least they try. Oh my dear Lord. In my country, we don't have accountability for where the taxes that are even being received right now. We don't have accountability. Our systems are failing. They are so bad, and taxes just keep going up. So right now, we have multiple taxes that have been rolled out by URA in Uganda. So URA is the governing body for, how do I put this, for taxation, our taxation body. For example, in your countries, you have the body you file taxes to. So ours is called DRA. Now, let me start where the whole thing started from. So we have a tax. We have a tax called IFRIS. IFRIS, this is what IFRIS is. Every product you sell, you're supposed to, okay, when you have a product, let's say I have this pen, right? If I'm selling to you this pen, there is the cost price of the pen, which is, let's say, $1. I'm exaggerating, but let's say the pen is $1. Now imagine you pay to ship this pen, because most of the products we have here, we import them from other countries. As I buy this pen from the manufacturer, I've paid the factory price or the buying price of this pen. On top of that, I've paid transportation costs to fly or ship this pen to me. Uganda is a landlocked country, so most of our things go through Kenya. you pay a certain tax to Kenya in order for Kenya to release your goods to Ugandan cargo. Now, all this is you paying. So you've paid to buy from the factory, you've paid to transport it, you've paid in Kenya a certain tax, you've paid in, when this product reaches Uganda, URA expects you to pay a certain tax as well, which we pay the tax, right? Now, if your product arrives and you don't have the money on spot, every single time this product of yours stays in URA loading, they fine you. They give you a fine. That fine, last I checked, it was I think $100 and something per day. So that's a fine, which means when the product arrives, you have to have money on standby. That same day they give you your quotation, or your agent gives you a quotation, say, okay, you can go and pick your stuff. You need to have all this money together, whatever tax you've been dealt. So after paying all these taxes, and also when the product arrives, you pay the tax for this pen. Now you're paying transportation to move it from URA, bonds or offices, wherever they are, or warehouses, to your business. That is also another cost, because when you're doing business, you have to consider every single cost that you've incurred. Now, you reach your business, right? In your business, you're paying a monthly rent for the business. You're paying another tax to URA. Now that you paid the first tax to URA for bringing the product, now you have to pay them for selling the product. Are you getting me? So these are taxes that are already existing. So you've paid URA for selling your product, right? You've paid, we have another body that also taxes that, which is called KCCA. You pay them a trading license. You've paid rent. You have to pay for, now imagine you go to rent an apartment or lease it, and your landlord tells you you are going to pay for space where you're sleeping, but you're going to give me separate money. On top of paying rent, you're going to give me separate money for electricity. You're going to give me separate money for the toilet. Imagine that. So every time you have to use the toilet, you have to pay. And then you also have to pay them separate money for, I don't know, there is more money they pay there. But then that's not the issue. So you've paid KCCA trading license. You've paid for a trading license. There is another tax there they pay. What is it called? So, and on top of this, you've already paid for the product to bring it, to sell it, right? So now Uganda is saying, the government of Uganda is saying that's not enough. Every product you sell has to have a certain sticker on it. That sticker means you have to also get whatever money you've sold, get another 18% and give it to them again per product. When per product you're already paying a URA tax already, which you pay once a year. So once a year you balance your books at the end of your financial year. You balance your books per product and you give them a certain percentage already. Now they are saying they want more. They still want that one, but they also want to add another one, which is 18% on top of that product. You understand that some of these products are really, really small. The profit margin is 1 to 0. So when someone says incur an 18% tax, you think, who do you think is going to suffer? You think me as the owner of the business, as the importer, I'm going to put that on me? I'm going to put this at the final consumer. I'm going to get my normal price and say this would have been my normal price. For example, if this pen is supposed to be $1 with everything inclusive, this new tax they've involved people with, what do you think you do? You get 18% of this, whatever you're selling, and say, what would 18% be? Let's say 30 cents. So the product ceases to be $1, it becomes $1.40. And as the final consumer, who has no other choice but to consume, this is a person who already cannot afford the $1. You understand? So the final consumer already can't afford. And yet now you're continuously levying more taxes onto this final consumer. Do you understand why people are striking? So people are literally just working just to work. People are not working to develop themselves. They can't. Because at the end of the day, the government wants you, the government is not educating you in this country. The government is not giving anybody any loans to start up these businesses, because some of these businesses are started on loans. So you borrow your money to start something, and the government comes in and taxes you so heavily to a point that you have to just abandon ship. But guy, as a country, as a Ugandan, I don't know how to defend my country. I always defend my country, but this time I really don't know how to defend my country. This is a country where we have ministers using taxpayers' money to buy goats for billions of money, and they can't account for it. But these are the sample who can't account for anything are asking you to account for your small business, which you had to borrow money to do. Can you imagine the audacity? And to make matters worse, right? As citizens, by the way, Ugandans, I'm not going to even sugarcoat this. Uganda as a country, we are very poor. We are very, very poor. So if you think you've survived that, oh wait, I'm not a business owner, I'm not an entrepreneur, I am employed. My dear, there are also new taxes for you who is employed somewhere. Remember, we who are employed, right? Your money, you don't have a choice. You can't even negotiate. When VAT says, when they said that the VAT is going to be 40%, because our salary is already being levied 40% as I speak. But apparently they want more tax on you who is also employed. They want 58%. So imagine that jump from 40, which means they want that 18% so bad from every citizen. And that's not it. As if that's not it. You have to understand. Every person who is a member of parliament, every person who is a politician, and they have a business or an organization, 80% of them are not paying tax. In their businesses, they are not paying taxes. They're exempted from taxes. Yet these are the highest earning people. They're exempted from paying taxes. So what happens if a country exempts an organization that is actually earning heavier from paying taxes? The smaller person in the country is going to suffer. We have more factories, we have more businesses, more heavy, big businesses, foreign-based. Hi, Kezi. Thank you for watching the channel. I appreciate that. We have so many factories that have closed and left. These are factories that are operating not just in Uganda, they're operating in multiple African countries, and they are doing well. Why is it that in Uganda they are failing? It's not that they fail to get clients, no. It's the taxes. So the government is not creating jobs for Ugandans in any way, and this is the ugly truth. We might pretend or not talk about it. Ugandans as a people are actually creating jobs for themselves. They are creating jobs for themselves. Now there is also another tax where if you go, and some of you who are watching, you went to Cheyo. Cheyo is like when you leave your country to go to another country to work. You went there to make money, to come back here and improve your life, right? Already those people who go from here to go and be housemaids or security guards or cleaners, whatever, because most of these people are not going there to do fancy jobs. They are taxing their money. They're already taxing them, even when they're out of the country. They are taxing them. Imagine that. But when they are collecting taxes from these children or these young men and women, when the Arabs are banting, when they are beating these girls and killing them, raping them, the government is not saying anything. They are not saying anything, but they are busy collecting taxes from these same people. Imagine someone leaves because they are frustrated by their own system and they are looking for a better life. But you follow them where they've gone and you say, no, you've gone, but you must still pay a tax back where you're coming from. And I know for sure the Arab countries are also taxing those kids. They have no security whatsoever. When bad things happen to them wherever they are, they have nobody protecting them. I'm talking about Uganda. And they are also saying, after you've gone to bust your ass and sweat for your money out there, if you bring it back home, right, and you invest it here, let me start with land. There is a new tax on land, but most of you don't know. They are forcing, right now they are saying, if you're buying land or if you have land, I hear get a PO box. A PO box is like an address, right? And then I hear just get a PO box so that they can identify you. This is a trap. The PO box is not to identify your land or they're using this because they can easily track you and impose that new tax on you. In Uganda, the government cannot, because we have Buganda Land Board, right? So we have silent land owners, very many of them, whereby the government of Uganda cannot pinpoint who owns what land, who owns what. They can't even, they see small buildings, they see land, they cannot account for it, but they don't have to. But using they want to use the whole PO box thing, so you attach it to your land. The moment you attach it to your land, they can track you. They can easily track you. And that's very dangerous, because the truth is, no, you can move back to Uganda, but you just have to understand what is happening. As the government of Uganda, you travel and you want to copy the things you see in the US, in the UK, but you have to understand, what did the American government do for its people to push them to the level where they are at, to start taxing them the way they are taxing them? Have you done the similar things? Have you empowered your own people? You're just copying things. You're just moving and copying things blindly. You don't understand the people you're copying to impose these things on. People are struggling. They want to tax every single aspect. You find someone, in fact, now they have a certain tax for landlords. Imagine. But which landlords do we have here, really? Which landlords? You build your small house to find a constant source of income, and someone says, okay, now that you've built your own house, first of all, as you build your house, before you build your house, you see that house plan. You know what they call approving a house plan is paying taxes. You pay taxes per square meter of that house before you even start building. But they've not stopped there. They've taken that money from you because you paid before you even start building. If they find you and you've not paid taxes, they can't even break your house down. So you've paid a tax to build. You've bought cement. Cement is already taxed. And actually, they've also increased the tax on cement. So when you see prices going up, don't wonder. Don't wonder. They've increased that. Everything they've increased taxes on it. Everything, be it water, they've increased. When people already can't access clean water, there are many people who can't access clean water, but they've increased that tax as well. Because this month, my water bill has come and it's heavier than my normal water bill. And yet I've actually used less water than I did last month. But what can you do? The concept is it's not that people don't want to pay taxes. Understand the people you're leading. I have to understand that the government has not understood the type of people they are leading. When you live up in a flat, you can no longer relate with people living in the slums, because you believe that maybe they are not hardworking. You have those mentalities, because you feel just because you've made it in life, you're the only hardworking person. You are the only person making sacrifices, but you don't understand that we are dealt different cards. I don't know anybody that is more hardworking than those people living in those slums. Recently, I saw a video of people waiting in trash. Do you know trash? When the trash guy comes to your home to collect trash and put it in a truck where they dump it, there are people who wait in those places. Real people. I saw that video. I was moved. I wondered if I'm living in the same country with these same people. Not because it can't happen, but because why is this happening? People are moving in trash places. Like, do you know how many things are, because in Uganda we don't we're not separating our trash. We just put broken glasses, needles, what you put together. You know, it was after seeing that video that I started separating my trash, saying, oh God, what can I do with this? What can I do with this? Because you don't know the things people are going through, and someone goes into that trash. This is what they are doing. You know, someone goes to that trash, scavenges, you know, to scavenge, to look through that trash. That person is picking out what could have been dumped but can be reusable. They could be clothes, they could be what? They take them, if they are clothes, wash them until they are presentable again, and bring them back to the market within their people, their own people, and resell. And that's a person you want to pay that kind of tax. A person who can barely afford food. And that's not even the worst part. That IFRI's tax, right? It's going to cost you about 5 million Ugandan shillings to buy that machine. So they've brought machines themselves. They want you to get your own money. You're on loan. Remember, you've started a business on loan. There are people whose capital is like 1 million. 2 million, even 300,000 Ugandan shillings, and that's their capital. And you want someone like that to buy a machine of 5 million Ugandan shillings. If that person had 5 million Ugandan shillings, you think they would be doing what they are doing? So you want the citizens of Uganda to buy machines from you, which they cannot afford, then employ someone to operate that machine, so that they can all pay you a tax. This reminds me of the Umeme situation we have in Uganda. Uganda, we have more electricity than all of East Africa. Actually, most of Africa. We are the only country that produce more electricity than, what is that country? But it is Uganda. This is what Umeme does to Ugandans. They make you buy your own poles, right? After buying your own poles, listen to me. After buying your own poles, right? You buy your own wires, you buy your own meter boxes, you do everything to earthing. After doing everything, you have to pay them. Are you listening to me? You have to pay them over 700,000 Ugandan shillings. That is over $150 to make the whole system theirs. I don't know how to put it. To make the line or the pole, it's to make it theirs. So it is no longer yours. Then after that, they make you pay another 500 to 600,000 Ugandan shillings to give you a meter, which on top of that, they charge you per unit. Mwe, this country. And we are the people giving part of Kenya electricity. We are the people giving part of Rwanda electricity, if not all of Rwanda. We are the people supplying every single person electricity. But we are paying exorbitant amounts of money to have electricity. We are buying a unit at 1,000 shillings. Do you know what a unit can do? Maybe light your house for half a day. If you have one light, or maybe two lights. If you have more than two lights in your house and you're going to leave them on for maybe a full day and half a night, you might need just 2 units or 1.5 units, 2 units to be on a safe side per day. That is you. You've not cooked. You've not ironed a single cloth. Your fridge is off. 2 units. So, and electricity these days moves faster than it used to back in the day. Imagine someone makes you invest in their own company and then charges you to give you a service you've invested in already. Do you understand what I'm saying? Uganda as a country, we are bleeding. It's the truth. It's the most ugly truth. Because there is no accountability for taxes, we still have schools in this country, not far, forget the villages. We are talking about Mukono, Kampala, because this is the center of Uganda. We still have schools with one building, which leaks, kids have no tables, you know. We are at the mercy of donors. We are beggars in our own country, where every single thing we purchase, be it a sweet, it's already taxed. The money we are paying includes the tax. We are not filing for taxes, but we are paying taxes. We are paying indirect taxes. As a country, our tax system has always been indirect. That's why people don't understand it. So for the first time now, they are bringing direct taxes and people are panicking. But people have always been paying these heavy taxes. They just never broken anything down before. To what end, though? This has nothing to be, I'm not going into the whole government being in power for so long, they've forgotten why they came into power. I'm not going into that. I'm going to the immediate people that come to be voted into power, that actually represent people. Are you even taking time to understand what's happening? These people don't care. When they get sick, they fly themselves out on taxpayers' money. Their kids they're not even studying using the Ugandan curriculum that they're sitting parliament to debate and support. Their kids are studying from a whole different, their kids are studying AI and they are teaching IT. And that's what they're supporting here. If I go into politics of this kind, I don't want to go into politics, you know. But you have to understand, we are going through so much as a people. We are going through so much. Imagine someone wants you to pay a continuous tax after purchasing your own land, looking for money, borrowing, begging, doing whatever you have to do to build that house on your land. Someone wants you to pay a continuous unending tax, as if they came and supported you to build what you have, as if they came. There is no longer ownership of anything in this country. If you think you own anything, you're fooling yourself. The only people that own, now at this point, it's foreigners that are owning things. Because we have Chinese here that are not paying taxes. We have not just Chinese, we have foreigners here who are not paying taxes. They come as investors, and yet they are hawking. They are running around like regular Ugandans selling things. Yet they applied to come as investors. When did an investor start being a muiri? Like, you guys, as a country, these are issues we have to address, you know. But the problem is, even the people, you don't understand. It's like me setting you up and you get attacked, beaten so badly, and then you, who has been beaten so badly, I'm the person you're coming to for help. When it's me who caused your pain. I caused your pain, but you have no one else to turn to but me who caused your pain. You even know Doreen set me up and I got attacked. I nearly got killed. But you have nobody else to turn to in your own country. You have no choice but to go back to the same person to ask for help. The same person who set you up. That's the problem. The government passes these laws. No law gets passed without the president's signature. No law. And now we have to beg the same person who approved these things. They pass laws without even meeting with the public leaders, nothing, you know, because these people, these ministers don't know anything that's going on. They don't. They don't. You have to understand, passing the anti-gay bill affected us. It's the ugly truth. We might not support LGBTQ, whatever else they have going on, but it affected us. And this is one of the outcomes of how much we got affected. We don't want to admit. But as a president, before you make certain moves, I would have to add to believe you already had backup somewhere. You already had somewhere who's going to, because Uganda has been running on foreign aid. Uganda has been running on foreign aid, and I'm telling you this as a fact. Let me tell you this, my project that I was working for was under the government. That was up to last year. The funders said they are not giving a single coin, not to me, but this is what I heard and it's what I see. So I'm alleging. They stated they are not giving the government, any government organization, a single coin. So they are only dealing with NGOs. And where they fail to get NGOs, they completely pull out their money and go. Let me tell you something. In government hospitals, if they're even still there, but the few government hospitals that are there, the medicine that is there is donated, all of it. When you go to a government hospital, you're going to find a table is from this organization, the chair is from another organization, the tablets, this type of tablets is from another organization. Oh, the court is from here. Do you understand? Government hospitals, schools, anything government in this country survives on donations. Anything government. Because as the government employees who are directly government employees, most of them, it's the projects that come within from the donors that actually hold these hospitals together. It's not the direct government employees. I don't even know how to explain this to you. So the CDC was my employer. They pulled out. Yes, and they gave the contract to an NGO. And I don't know if the 5 years that they stated, if they end, because there are just 2 years left on that, if they end, if they will renew. I don't think they will renew, because the project was supposed to run for about 5 years. So, and this is just an example. There is more projects that people have, they've been funding. We have many people in this country whose lives have been held by donations. They don't even know it. Especially medical things. So when they went ahead to go, that's the thing, I know it's ugly, but they usually say don't bite the hand that feeds you, right? I'm not in any way in support of the things that the country goes against. But the ugly truth is we need help as a country. Maybe we can find black donors somewhere, African American donors to come through and maybe donate to. But the problem is also when the government gets donations or money, they steal it. The money never gets to where it's supposed to go. Banang, you wonder what to do. By the way, and 2 years from now, the Ugandan economy is going to probably turn sour. 2 years is even a long time, you know. It's like these people just want to destroy the country. I don't know. Have you ever met a man that is tired of you and you're in this relationship? That man wants to destroy you for other men. Wants to destroy you, wants to do things to you as if that will be the last time in your life. You know, these people just want to destroy you. You ever meet someone who wants you to stay where you are or even be less? You know? Banai, we are, as a country, the country is bleeding. That's the truth. Usually people say they want to remove the whole person's government or whatever. It's not easy. It's not as easy as it sounds. It's not. Because you're dealing with people who are struggling. People who are struggling are completely demotivated. Even now, the only reason that all businesses in Uganda are closed right now It's like as if we are back into COVID, by the way. It's like a ghost country right now. You know? It's because people are tired. People are working for the government. It's like we wake up in the morning to work so hard just to pay taxes. Like, who the fuck wants that? I even had another topic to discuss, but... So today, a few selected people are going to meet the president of Uganda to beg him... we've suffered. To beg him to either remove this new tax or to, I don't know, reduce it, you know. I saw a video of people who ship Irish potatoes from Kenya who are paying a tax. Imagine, you wake up in the morning, you do business every day, and your known tax is 120,000 Ugandan shillings. That's around $35 to $36, I think. Yeah. And someone wakes up in the morning, out of the blue, you have merchandise at the border to bring into the country, and someone says, where are you going? You say, I'm going to take my stuff. No. Please, you're not allowed to go. You've not paid all your tax. And you're like, what tax? I just paid my $36, $37. What else is left for me to pay? And the person's, oh no, that is old story. Your new tax now, how much is 1.2 M? How much is that in dollars? That's around $300 to $400. Do you know what that is? Hold on, let me get the actual number for you guys. You're going to understand what's actually, that is crazy. Like, this country is going crazy. I don't understand why they are doing this. You know? Times $300. That's about one. So you've been paying a tax of $37. And out of the blue, someone says your new tax is $320. That's crazy. Out of the blue. No announcement, no warning, nothing. But the tax was multiplied over 10 times overnight. That's crazy. That is crazy. What? So these days, if you're in Uganda, these things that you were doing back in the day, the food is 60K. I'm going to Cafe Java's. I recently ordered food at Cafe Java's not long ago, just I think over the weekend, last weekend. And I was at home, and then I looked at the bill. The bill was crazy. This was just fish fingers and fries, man. Crazy bill. And then it had 18%, it had VAT, it had what. I looked at the receipt, and at the end it had that 18% something. Yo, you think that the owner of the business is going to pay that 18%? You, the consumer, and I don't know why Ugandans have not yet clicked that it is the consumer who suffers at the end of the line. Me, the supplier, I am not taking that. I'm not taking the L. No supplier is going to take the L. No supplier. The only L that I take are the taxes that I'm used to. You understand? Whatever taxes the government adds, because as a Ugandan, as a person, you need these products. You need these products. You know, they went and gave some Chinese a contract to make jeans. Jeans are like jean trousers. And they make some of the worst quality I've ever seen. And what's funny is they're not even buying material from Ugandans. Isn't that the whole point? Set up a factory and support the people. No, they are not. They are only employing. And this is the thing. All foreigners who are coming as investors, stop employing our people as the lowest staff. They only employ our people as the lowest staff. Cleaners, those odd jobs. You think we don't have people who are qualified to do these things here? You know, they're not even buying cotton from here. They're literally shipping everything from China. What the fuck? And then you tell me that's an investor? That's not an investor. An investor is supposed to come to invest, not to use. It's like as if I'm leasing land from you to grow things and take them back to my country, or I don't know, sell to you some poor quality shit and take the good quality back to my country. You know, and I don't even know how to go on with this, because this video might get me flagged, but truth is, we need help. And we're not going to get this help from anyone. We're not. We are not. There is nothing much we can do. Because I know, if too many taxes are rolling out, meanwhile, URA are the same people who literally tipped themselves. They use taxpayers' money to tip themselves and thank themselves of the hard work they are doing. This is taxpayers' money. Imagine someone comes, collects a tax from you. We have roads that are so bad. They're not far. They're here in Kampala. Roads. Yeah? Last time I was on a border on that Nigeria road. If you know Nigeria road, you know it's bad. I was on a border. It was a Saturday morning. It had just rained. And a border guy hit a pothole, and a woman fell off and fell those ends. Imagine if there was a car fast coming. And they would knock her. She would be dead. These are potholes, the type of potholes we have. If you're seated on a border, you have to hold yourself. Stop these things of sitting on a border like so you're some kind of boss. There are no seat belts. The roads are bad, that bad. These people are using these same roads, but they're using those, they're rolling themselves in huge cars. They don't feel those impacts in the roads. To them, they're like, oh, roads are nice. Because the cars, these are expensive cars, man. You don't feel any bumps, nothing. You know, no impact. Expensive cars. You on your border or in your small car, you feel every hump. You even reduce speed so that you can less hit yourself. People have been helping themselves, man. Investing, getting loans to start small businesses. What? They've been doing this. But what happens? You help yourself, someone comes out of nowhere and imposes heavy taxes on you. What are you going to do? You're going to fail. I don't blame people for partying too much. People are spending their money on alcohol. People are spending their money on women because they've tried other things and think the situations are not changing. And they're just now living, waiting to die. Not living to develop themselves. They're just living, waiting to die. Can you imagine? No hope. This is the life people have resorted to. That's why you can never find an empty bar in Uganda. You can never find, alcohol can never fail to move. Even the taxes on alcohol were reduced. Oh, dear Lord. We have problems as a country. We have problems. We have problems. Problems that are going to take years to fix. Because people are trying. I know people are trying. People are going everywhere looking for money to come and try to develop their country and, you know, improve their lives. But then the government is just lurking around waiting. Ooh, that one's building. Attack. Give them this tax. And I think they even sit there and ask themselves, maybe we should start taxing them. Why are they breathing? Why are they alive in this country? They should be dead. But we should tax them for living this long. Can you imagine? Let me go home. But yeah, the situation in Uganda is dire. I don't know what can be done because people have done everything they can do. What else is there to do? There's nothing left. There's nothing much left they can do. Nothing much. They'll roll out the oxygen tax. You think it's going to take long? People now, it's like you're demotivating people, you know. People are very educated here. There are no jobs. even the few jobs that are there, poor working conditions, less pay. The government is not creating jobs for a single soul. How can it create jobs when the same old people that have been leading or employed in these organizations are the same people that came with the government? They are not dying, they are not leaving, they are preparing their children to take over their jobs. There is nothing. So you've had the same minister, let's say, of finance before you started studying. Now you're studying to become a what? A minister of finance. The minister of finance's relatives are finished in the family. It's just an example, different ministries. Now they're even taxing farmers. But I always thought farmers were the only industry that is not supposed to be taxed. Farmers, NGOs, But guy, and they even now have a habit, they can come and they assess. So these things of you starting a new business using an old tin number. If you ever had a small business before, create a new tin number or find a way to declare that business closed. Because when you open a new business and you go to pay taxes, they're going to go back in time and say, you had a business in 2010. You've never paid taxes since then to now. They will give you a fine. They'll say, we are fining you 60 million. You have to pay that tax. And you tell them, the business closed, what? You have to now bring evidence. Like, I know people who have been given fines that are abnormal. They don't even know, man. Everyday businesses are closing. Every day. I'm telling you the truth. Every day. I think right now one of the worst businesses you can get in is a supermarket. Because there is no way around that in a supermarket. I had a product, I think 2 months ago, I was trying to get into a supermarket, and they're like, oh no, you need an e-freeze in order for us to put your stuff in our supermarket. That's crazy. But guy, the country has become hard, very hard. We're now just living just to live. But if the conditions were favorable and they were decent, the taxes have no problem, But you've not enabled people. You've not done anything to help these people, but you just come at the end point to tax them. You don't know where someone got their capital from. Some of them have loans. Meanwhile, some banks in Uganda have closed. So if you have money, take your money out. Take your money out. Because banks in Uganda, banks are only supposed to hold per account a maximum of 10 million Ugandan shillings. So if you have money in that bank and it happens to close and your money is there, the bank is only eligible to refund 10 million in your account. Don't say I didn't tell you. So try to move your money. Move it and understand which banks are still operational, because they've not announced anywhere. We are just seeing things that this bank is closing because the government increased a bond. How much money like your initial capital, how much money you need to start a bank is more now. I think it's about 150 billion. It was less than that before. So most banks cannot afford that. So they've closed or they've turned themselves into microfinances or loan points. There is no way you're going to go to a microfinance and tell them you had your 30 million in that account and they give it to you. They won't. You will legally sue, do whatever you can, but the law is the law. So try to move your money if you can. Yeah. Try to move your money around. You're not supposed to have all your money in one account. Understand the laws that govern these banks and you will be at peace. I think that's it for me, guys. Let me go before someone starts labeling me as an anti-this, anti-that, you know. But the problem is some things when we have to talk about them. We have to talk about them because even us in the construction world, we are heavily affected by these things. By the way, every Ugandan is going to cry sooner or later. Stop saying this is just for Wasubuzi. I'm not a nigger. You're going to cry. We are all suffering on the same level. The advice I have for someone who wants to move back to Uganda, first wait for things to settle. Hi, Mokasa Daudi. First wait. You know, you can move back. There is nothing. Uganda has freedom. You know, anything that is nonsense, we are okay. Things to, you can travel around, you freely, you know, secure what. You can come and party. But if you want to invest, first look for something you can invest in that is not so marginalized. You know, there are businesses that are not marginalized so much, like they are not overwatched. How do I put this? Like, let me give you an example. If you bought, let's say you imported, which business now? And things look, direct example. There are products on the market which don't have the same price, right? For example, I can buy this shirt at 10K and someone else can sell it at 5K and someone else can sell it at 15K or 20K. Products like that don't have a specific price. Like everyone knows a kilogram of sugar is 5,000 Ugandan shillings now. That's a product that is going to choke you. But if you start a product that does not have a marginalized price, you're bound to survive somehow, you know, because the price, you choose your own price, you choose your own selling price, you know, irrespective of the taxes, you choose your own selling price. And obviously, the truth is you have to underreport how much you're selling your stuff. Now, this one, Nelson, I don't even think you're in Uganda. I don't even think you know any of this shit. You're just opening your mouth. You're just going about opening your mouth, shouting for anyone. If you don't know what the problems are, shut up. If you don't understand what the problems of the people are, shut up. I don't even think you're in Uganda, because if you think it's just business people that is affected, nigga, you are going to be affected equally, just like business people. I dislike people who just open their mouth just to talk. You know, even in that job of yours, in that office of yours, when you are going to do your job, who consulted you on the percentage of VAT you pay? Nobody. They just told you, we are giving you a job, this is your gross and this is your net. Your gross is always higher than your net. Okay? So someone told you that they are going to cut a certain percentage pay to NSSF, cut a certain percentage pay to VAT, pay as you earn, what, and they give you what they give you. And now it's going to increase. Hey, if your gross is now 3M, yeah, prepare. No one is going to increase your gross. They're simply going to continue deducting on your net as you're there laughing. But ha. This is happening to all of us. For you, you think yourself just because you cocoon yourself in some office. All of you are suffering. We are all suffering as a country, my dear. If you think you're making fun and hiding, these things that this Wasubuzi said, you're the one buying. You are the people. You are the final consumer. Fuel. You have your little car. Fuel prices are going up. You know? You people, I hate people who just open their mouth. Everyone in this country is going to feel the pinch. This is not just about let me give you an example. Actually, the Wasubuzi should not even be striking. It is the final consumer that should be striking. Me as a Msubuzi, I bring my product, I'm putting that 18% to the final consumer. Everyone is doing that. Restaurants are already doing that. Already. When were you last at Cafe Java's? If you even go, you are paying that 18% already. You're just not looking at your receipts right. You just pay. Someone tells you a bill, you just pay. Yeah, some of you are already paying the 18%. I guarantee you. So stop these things of trolling. If you don't understand something, shut up. Shut up. By the way, the Msubuzi is not going to, the only way Msubuzi is going to be affected is if the product is not moving. That's it. But if the product is moving, if the product is in high demand, you're not going to get it from anywhere. If the Msubuzi has not brought it, the Msubuzi is the person who gives people in Kabale, is the person who gives people in Jinja, is the person who gives people in Gulu. Wherever you are as a final consumer, you should be appalled. You should be crying because whatever you're purchasing right now, I don't care if it is sugar, as long as it is imported at any point, the prices are going up. Whether you like it or not. So for you who are saying, oh, it is the traders, nigga, the traders are not losing sleep over this. They're just fighting to maintain the prices the way they are so that their products can continue moving the way they've been moving. In Uganda, even you, Nelson, you are paying indirect taxes on every single thing. You think your landlord is going to pay that rent tax. Your rent is just going to go up. Even if you're not renting, in your house, they're going to come and ask you to pay a certain tax for having built. And not just on the house and on the land. So you troll, unless you're out of Uganda. So yeah, feel free. But if you're in Uganda and you're opening your big mouth, trolling, good luck. Some of you think just because you support the government or you're from a certain area or whatever the fuck, you think you're safe. Nigga, we are all suffering equally. Those who voted the current government and those who didn't. When the government is suppressing, they're not suppressing just NUP, FDC, what is other, whatever the other parties are. They're suppressing all of you. That's the beauty. That's the only beautiful thing about governments. Governments, they're not saying isolate. The only people who survive are the top dogs. Nigga, you're not a top dog. This is real talk, man. We are all suffering. All of us. Nigga, these people here. Some of these people here just think they're too slick. This country needs help. Zimbabwe leader. I don't know how they're going to get donors back, but donors left. Uganda, the only donors that are here, the real donors are only giving to a few NGOs. And I'm telling you, 2 years from now, even those NGOs are not going to get donations. We have people, for example, people who are on HIV medications. Whether you are in private hospital getting your HIV or government, you are getting donated medicine. All that medicine is not here. It's not from here. Hey. And meanwhile, HIV levels are high. Protect yourselves. They are high. I don't know how to put this, but they are high. They are high. We are suffering from so many diseases. Diabetes, cancer, drugs, all of them are not from here. They are not. These are imported things. I know they say that the taxes on these drugs are, no, these are donated. They donate. They donate. Even this yellow fever thing going around, these were donated. They were donated. And now they want to impose and say, if your child or you did not get, it's like COVID does not have, if you don't have a yellow fever card, you are not getting your national ID renewed. You can imagine. You know, I even had a rumor somewhere, I don't know if it's true. You're supposed to take your national ID for renewal 2 months before the expiry date. Imagine. And if you don't take it and it expires when you still have it, when you go to renew it, they're going to charge you 40,000 shillings every day that you held, you stayed without a new national ID. That's crazy. That's crazy. And you're there shouting, laughing. Let's see how you'll be laughing when you're actually dealing with these things. Some of you people, when people are actually trying to mobilize you to support and fight for something, you are the people saying, me, I don't like politics. Me, I'm not a politician. Yet, at the end of the day, we are all suffering the same way. Whether you like politics or you don't. It's nothing personal. This is real life. Troll. Can't believe this. Let me go home. I'm actually supposed to resume gym today. Another tax to pay. I need to resume gym. It is high time, you know. But seriously, guys, thank you for watching Doreen's African Experiences. I hope you picked up one or two things. When you hear me talk about a point, please do more research, you know, and get your facts right. You know, but at least I did a bit of research before I came to open my mouth. Yeah, we're strong, but we have no choice but to be strong. We have no choice, my friend. We have no choice. But yeah, thank you for watching Doreen's African Experiences. I was supposed to do shootings, but as you know, the businesses that I shoot from, most of them are closed. You know, and yet I just resumed shooting content. So I have to wait until people resume opening. I have one more video left for me to upload. I think I'll upload it tomorrow after gym, and then we'll see. Yeah, we'll see when things have gone back to normal. Let's see what today brings us, because apparently people are meeting the president to discuss the taxes and see how they can be improved or reduced or something, or even stopped. No guarantees still, but you try. Yeah, man. Tina, thanks for watching. KZ, thanks for watching. And everyone else that didn't comment, thank you for watching. I know things will get better. I mean, usually they say things get worse right before they get better, right? So yeah, KZ, I'm always here, man. So have yourselves a wonderful weekend. I'll see if I can do a live tomorrow, but I can't guarantee that. I need to spend my weekend to myself. And yeah, have yourselves a nice weekend. Take heart, don't lose hope. Things are going to get better, guys. You know, I know the news is alarming, but we'll get better. So yeah, bye.